everyone, and welcome to my car. This is my 2019 Ford Mustang Fastback Premium, which is the name that it was advertised when I bought it. I'm not normally a big Ford guy, but this kind of caught my eye and I went, you know what, I'm going to go with it. So there's a bit of a backstory here. When I moved from Prince Edward Island back to Ontario, I only brought my motorcycle, my Ninja ZX6R. I was driving it that summer into the fall and even into the winter. I remember going into work a couple of times in the snow and it was terrifying. So I thought I should really get a Canadian certified vehicle. So I ended up leasing a 2017 Chevy Cruze hatchback RS. It was black, it was manual shift, it was a ton of fun, and I loved that vehicle. I honestly thought about keeping it after my lease was up, but what happened was I realized that I couldn't get any features with it. So in the Cruze lineup, when they made it at the time, you could upgrade to a Premier, and you could get leather, a sunroof, cooled seats, heated steering wheel, all that stuff. But with the manual shift car, you couldn't. You could only get an LT, but I wanted manual shift. What had happened was, once my lease was coming due, I figured, okay, I'm gonna get a new car. What do I want? I've always been a GM guy. My family was always kind of Ford versus GM. Basically, what I wanted a non-V8 car, because I was like, if I need lots of power in a V8, I have my old Camaro. If I wanted to go fast, I have my motorcycle. So for this one, I wanted something that had a little bit of power. It didn't need to be stupid fast because I was gonna be driving it year round. It needed to be comfortable and have the features that I wanted. So in that lineup with those criteria, basically I had three options: Camaro, Mustang, Challenger. What had happened was after my lease was up, or when my lease was ending, I sort of ran out of time to order the Camaro that I wanted. In the Chevy lineup, you can get what's called a 3LT, which is a manual shift loaded Camaro with the smaller motor. It's basically like a 2SS Camaro, but instead of having the motor, you have either a 2-liter turbo or a 3.6 liter, which are both very good motors, and it's a really cool car, but no one's gonna order one because they're like $60,000. Almost $70,000 actually. Now they don't make the Camaro anymore, but at the time, basically that was one of the best options. And I had a look because I work for GM and they don't have them. I couldn't find a single one in the country, not one. So I said, okay, I need to start looking at other vehicles. Again, I've never been a Mustang guy, but I saw this one, and what originally sort of caught my eye about it was the color. It's called Magnetic Metallic. And I saw it and I just thought, wow, that is an amazing color. And you can kind of do a lot with it aesthetically if you wanted to mod it a bit. But again, I'm not a Mustang guy, so I was like, well, you know what? Maybe I'll see if I can find a Camaro in the same color, or maybe I can find a cool Challenger. So almost bought a Camaro from a place, I believe they were just outside Montreal, but they wouldn't negotiate. They were very not helpful. And I work in the car industry, so I know what most dealers can do and can't do. I've been in the automotive industry for over 8 years now, and they just weren't helpful at all. So I just kind of went, okay, this isn't the car for me if it's from this dealer. And then I almost pulled the trigger on two Challengers. One was kind of a gray, it was like a dark gray, and then the other one was really cool. It was like an army green. And I came really close. They both had all the options that I wanted and everything, but something kept going, oh, check out that Mustang. So I kept having to look at it and having to look at it and having to look at it. And I realized, I was like, this was a very expensive Mustang brand new, and it only had like 1,600 kilometers. So it's kind of like buying a brand new car with a discounted price. So I figured maybe it was a lemon, maybe there was something wrong with it. So I messaged the dealer and I said, hey, what's the story on this? Like, why is this like $40,000 or $50,000 Mustang at the time? And they explained that, as far as I know, a police officer, maybe his wife, had purchased it, put the 1,600 kilometers on it, and then used it as a trade-in and said, I want a convertible for the summer and I want an F-150 for the winter. So for the dealership, they were like, oh, we get a kind of unique trade, plus we get to sell two vehicles. Sure, let's do that. So I said, okay, that makes sense. Let me see if I can run the numbers and see if we can make it work. So I talked them down quite a bit on the price to a level that I was comfortable at. I had them put in a brand new 84-month, 120,000 kilometer warranty, as well as a full rust-proofing package. And I literally never even test driven a Mustang. And I just went, you know what? I went down on the train and took a taxi from the train station to the dealership, picked it up. Basically, my test drive was the drive back. and it's been pretty good so far. There's a few minor little things that I think that kind of irk me a little bit. Like when it's cold out, the mirrors will kind of go click, 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 and they'll click until I redo the memory seats. There's a little rip in the armrest as well as the seat that eventually I will fix, or I'm trying to get Ford to fix it because it should be fixed under warranty. But other than that, it's been great. It's never not started on me. Ironically, I've been driving it for 5 years. It's a 2019. I bought it in August of 2020 and never ever had an issue. Never got stuck. I had some pretty close calls with getting stuck where you kind of have to like rock back and forth, but I got out. This is the first year I put winters on it. I put Toyos on, and it's been pretty good that way. It's very eye-catching. I find it hilarious that other people with Mustangs kind of wave at me all the time. I love the 6-speed manual. The motor is a 2.3 liter twin scroll turbo, or dual scroll turbo, I think they call it. It makes 310 horsepower, 350 foot-pounds of torque, which is more than enough for this car. But here's the thing. I do have some plans for this car. I kind of want to turn it into a series where I do installs on it and mod it to the way that I want. So what I sort of want to do with this car is sort of make an homage to the Bullet Mustang. Now, obviously, this car's not a Bullet Mustang, and they already make that, and it's not even green. But I mean like the feel of it, the spirit of it, where it's kind of a cool, unique car with some mods, and it's daily used. And you can tell that it's daily used. That's sort of what I want for this car. Change the rims out, maybe black out the grille, put a different wing on the back. And then for mods, things like new exhaust, air intake, programmer, that sort of thing. I believe I watched a video and you can add about 130 or 150 horsepower to it pretty safely. And apparently it just changes the whole vehicle, but I like it. I don't like the new interiors on the new Mustang. I like the exterior on the 2025 Mustangs, but I hate the interior. To me, I go, this looks like and feels like you're in a airplane cockpit. Whereas on that one, on the new one, it's just like, oh, they put a big screen there and a big screen there, and they put no design into it. Just not a fan. I like this style. It's a modern car. It feels classic. And like I said, you feel like you're in an airplane cockpit, which I think is pretty cool, especially for me, a guy who's always wanted to be a pilot. So, but yeah, it's kind of fun. It's got all my driving modes where I can click here and I can change the weight of the steering wheel. I can change everything on it. I can change the RPMs. I can change all the sport mode, winter mode, track mode, drag mode, and it actually does stuff to the car, which is kind of cool. I've got my heated seats, my cooled seats, my heated steering wheel. I've got all my parking sensors. I've got my blind zone alert. I've got my lane keep assist. I've got forward collision alert. I've got everything you could want in this car. The only thing that I would say it's lacking, it doesn't have a sunroof, which you can't get in the Mustang as far as I'm aware, and I don't want anyways. It doesn't have a wireless charger, which I wish it did sometimes. Basically, 3 things I would really kind of change about this car if I was kind of picking the options on it is I would add a wireless charger, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which I don't think either option was even available. If I could be wrong, but I'm not sure. And 360 camera. I didn't have a 360 camera, which I still am not 100% sure that you can even get from Ford. But it's been quite good. I've really enjoyed it, and I look forward to doing more videos with it here. I hope you enjoy it too. Same as the last video, here is some B-roll. Like I stated in my previous video, which was the truck video for the 2500 HD Sierra AT4 double cab that I built, this year I really want to get a little more consistent. So I've made a goal, and it's a stated goal, that I want to hit 1,000 subscribers. I want to post at least 12 videos this year. So 1 for every month, including shorts. But if you like this car, let me know in the comments, say what mods I should do, make some suggestions for it. I would love to hear your feedback, and like, comment, share, subscribe, help the channel grow, and I'll see you in the next one.